Why don't conservatives protest? There are a lot of conservatives who say that the reason they don't show up at protests is because they're too busy. They have jobs, they have families, they don't have the time to go to protests. This is BS. It doesn't explain why liberals with jobs and families show up to protest. So, what is the real reason why conservatives do not protest? I think the real reason that conservatives generally do not show up at protests is because it hurts their pride. It hurts their pride to be a protester. Conservatives are much more likely to be taught to avoid putting their vulnerability on public display. They're more likely to be taught to avoid showing your weakness in public. And what is a protester? A protester is someone who goes out in public and says, I'm losing and I'm really mad about it. A protester is the antithesis of the conservative philosophy. So I'm certainly not suggesting that everything about the attitude that motivates a liberal to go and protest is healthy. But to whatever extent protesting does work, to whatever extent protesting is effective at influencing change in society and culture, I think conservatives are held back by their pride. They can pretend like they're too busy to show up at protests because of their jobs, but many of these same conservatives work with coworkers who have no idea that they're conservative. Many of these conservatives are in the closet about their views precisely because they are afraid of losing their jobs. And then they wonder why, even when they win elections, they're still losing the culture war. The news media, the entertainment media, the public schools, the universities, even the corporations, even the corporations are supporting socially progressive causes. So, conservatives can pretend like this is a jobs issue that's preventing them from showing up at protests, but I think really it's just that conservatives are generally uncomfortable with the idea of being protesters. They don't identify with it. Even when they believe they're losing. Even when they're angry about losing. Even when they're angry about losing their culture. They can't swallow their pride and go out and protest because they view it as a display of weakness. And I think until conservatives change their attitude about protesting, they're going to continue to lose the culture war.